The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. I say this because we are going to interrogate and question. We, that is the Muslim North, the northern Nigeria, will interrogate Peter Obi's tenure when he was the governor of Anambra State. What he did to northerners in 2022. We all know that. He deported them. He even made them have an ID card, their names, where they are from, what their occupation is. In this Nigeria that we live.
There's been a lot of reporting about how that has been exaggerated to reflect him in a negative light.
It is true. Did he not? It is the same Konkoso that have had to fly to Oka, go and sit with them. I say, be careful. I have more Igbos in Kano living in peace than there are northerners throughout the southeast. So you better be careful. The same. So he will come to the north now and explain to us. And that is why Konkoso is the vehicle to sell him to the north. But we have his record to interrogate what he did to northerners when he was the governor of, because if you ask him, I've seen a lot of his interviews, when he's asked, what is your manifesto? He says, I've done it in Anambra. I've done it in Anambra. I've done this. I've done this. So Governor Peter Obi, yeah, we've seen what you've done in Anambra State when you are governor, vis-a-vis how you treated us, people, our people in the north.
This is the late evening of Thursday, May 7, 2026. There was a video I made last year, November. Yeah, that was last year, November. So there was a statement Sheikh Ahmed Gumi made. Because of that statement, so I decided to come out to make one particular video. And what I said in that video is that when Sheikh Ahmed Gumi comes out to talk about the insecurity in Nigeria, why the bandits, the Boko Haram are going nowhere, saying that they are our people. When he came out to say that Tinubu should go to Turkey, and after some weeks, Tinubu ran to Turkey, I was telling people that when Sheikh Ahmed Gumi comes out to speak in the public, that is not Sheikh Ahmed Gumi. That is the heart of Caliphate. This thing I'm saying, many people who are politically inclined from the north will understand what I'm saying easily. That is because he's a spokesperson. No army, no DSS have the liver to invite Sheikh Gumi to question him about anything. No, they don't have the liver because that is not Sheikh Gumi. That is the heart of Caliphate talking. Now, Professor Yusuf is a very intelligent man. He's a medical practitioner. He's a medical doctor. So he's also a spokesperson, but on political affairs. When this man, anytime he's on TV to speak, don't look at Professor Yusuf. I am telling you this because of some informations that I have. So they are not, these two people, Sheikh Ahmed Gumi and Professor Yusuf, they don't speak for themselves. So when you hear them speaking, don't curse them. Don't curse them. Have you ever seen me maybe come out to curse Sheikh Gumi? By the way, you know that I don't curse people. I don't talk about individuals. I only talk about your policy, your belief, and all those things. But I don't come out to focus or face Sheikh Gumi because it is for people who don't know Nigeria, who don't understand Nigeria. These are the people who come out, say, arrest Sheikh Gumi, arrest Sheikh Gumi. I will just put hand and be laughing because you don't know Nigeria and you claim you can solve the problem in Nigeria when you don't know the problem. So, there is something Professor Yusuf said today on Trust TV about P2B. The intention of the Caliphate is to use P2B as a man from the conquered territory to remove Tinubu through his alliance with Atiku. Atiku is the chosen person. I made a video talking about how some APC governors promised Atiku that they will fund Atiku's campaign. APC governors. There is a difference between Nigerian politics and Northern politics. Northern politics is an agenda, not just a politics. You know, Jonathan did more than this movement P2B is doing in the North. Jonathan did everything. But when the election comes, they told Jonathan that he was an infidel. I'm not saying this to demoralize anybody. I want you to pay attention what Professor Yusuf said. After listening to the video, advise yourself.
Peter Obi will be a hard sell in the North. He's an easy sell to the Christian North that he came and balkanized. Because all his campaigns in the North during the 2022 elections were in churches. I've seen him say churches must take our country back, And that was why he got the Christian vote. 2027 is different. I will tell you why. This is coming after those lies of Christian genocide in the North. Remember? That made President Trump drop a bomb in Sokoto, the heart of the Caliphate. All this was against Muslim North, lying against Muslim North. The Christian genocide. Who are the pushers of this? Obedience. They are supporters, absolutely. You remember there is a New York Times article. You remember that screwdriver merchant in Onisha that was writing all of this, that sent it to what's the name of this guy? Riley Moore and Ted Cruz. And you go to the United States, America, all those guys pushing Christian genocides are either obedience or IPOB.
You're saying you're placing the blame on Peter Obi?
Peter Obi will have
people who support him.
Let me tell you, you don't understand. Peter Obi has questions to answer in the North. There is, I don't know if you read literature in your secondary school. Julius Caesar. When Mark Antonio, they came to his oration during the burial of Julius Caesar. Say, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. I say this because we are going to interrogate and question. That is the Muslim North, the northern Nigeria, will interrogate Peter Obi's tenure when he was the governor of Anambra State. What he did to northerners in 2022. We all know that. He deported them. He even made them have an ID card, their names, where they are from, what their occupation is. In this Nigeria that we live.
There's been a lot of reporting about how that has been exaggerated to reflect him in a negative light.
It is true. Did he not? It is the same Konkoso that have had to fly to Oka, go and sit with them. I say, be careful. I have more Igbos in Kano living in peace than there are northerners throughout the southeast. So you better be careful. The same. So he will come to the north now and explain to us. And that is why Konkoso is the vehicle to sell him to the north. But we have his record to interrogate what he did to northerners when he was the governor of, because if you ask him, I've seen a lot of his interviews, when he's asked, what is your manifesto? He says, I've done it in Anambra. I've done it in Anambra. I've done this. I've done this. So Governor Peter Obi, yeah, we've seen what you've done in Anambra State when you are governor, vis-a-vis how you treated us, people, our people in the north.
But he has also spoken admirably about the North's comparative advantage and how he said, listen, the secret to unlocking Nigeria's true economic potential lies in the North, especially in agriculture. How he talked about this could be the basis for an economic revival that could unlock jobs, that could fight poverty and address the security concern. If you have to just focus on looking forward, because yes, the past is the past and there are some checkered past that most of our politicians have to deal with. If you have to focus on his ideas for the North, for instance, does he get your vote?
Unbelievable. I'm older than Peter Obi. I was born in 1960, he was born in 1961. I've seen the world more than he's seen. He's done his governance, he's a businessman. Every one of us, I know the North more than he does. He cannot come and tell me about the North. And this is the biggest problem. In the North, he does not understand what ails us. He doesn't, at all. 24 were killed, front page, Daily Trust. 24 were killed in Jikamshi, where I'm from. Does he know anything? The biggest thing that ails us in the North is insecurity. What does he know about insecurity in the North? How is he going to take care of the problems of insecurity in Jikamshi, Sayaya, Matazu, Maradu, Ngoshi? I've seen him come and give you all those bogus numbers. In Bangladesh, this, in Malaysia, this, mean nothing, nothing, absolutely nothing, nothing, absolutely nothing to our people. Nothing. You have to. I've seen him a lot. Oh yeah, in Bangladesh they do this. In Malaysia, we don't care. Our problem is what is happening in Katsina, Maradun, Sokoto, Kebbi, the Lakurawas, the Mahmudawas, the Boko Haram, the ISWAP. You are giving us numbers. This happened in Bangladesh. So Peter Obi does not know what ails us in the north. He doesn't. Probably that's why he brought Rabi Musa Konkoso. You will never see
Is that
Rabi
going to
Musa.
do the trick?
It won't. You will never see Rabi Musa Konkoso talking about anything but himself. Never. Go look at
You have
all
to
his-
admit, he is a popular politician.
What? Where?
I mean, by all standards of
A
popularity.
popularity where? Not in Katsina. Next door to Kano. Even in Kano, his votes are going to be cannibalized this time around. Because he is going to be the one carrying the burden to sell Peter Obi to the Muslim North. That will dent him. So KO, or is it KO or OK?
OK.
OK is not sellable in the North, Muslim North. I mean, I'm giving them this free consultancy, and they know it. They know it.
You're making
Rabi Musa Konkoso is next door to Katsina. He couldn't come here and do anything.
You're making it sound, Prof, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, this is true.
Sound like Rabi Musa Konkoso is a lightweight.
He's not a lightweight. I think he will be diminished by his association with Peter Obi. I'm telling you. I don't see him going to Katsina, going to Kano, going to Sokoto.
You don't think they complement each other?
No, they don't. Really don't. Well, this is the problem. They are businessmen. They are traders. They are looking at numbers. Oh, I got 8 million the last time. Oh, this time you got this. So if we add them together, as if the Nigeria of 2022 is the same as Nigeria of 2027, the North has been ravaged by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we're not in any good mood for any shenanigan, political shenanigans, selfishness that we see in these politicians.
Right. What about the rest of the country, Prof? I mean, you've focused and zoomed in on the North, but what about the rest of the country and the overriding sentiment that politicians should be respected? That even if you're not for Tinubu, you have to be for somebody who is from the southern part of the country, because by 2031, the expectation is that power will then shift to the North. Isn't that an important part of the conversation?
That's nonsense. And you know that. Nigeria is a constitutional democracy. We know that. All this rotation nonsense that people are banding around, give me the Constitution. Give me the Constitution. Isn't that what this where our Constitution is? The North cannot and will not, and we will fight against the North being made just a farm for votes. For people just to come and harvest their vote because they say, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm Igbo, oh, I'm Yoruba, oh, I'm this. We have how many, even in Kaduna State alone, we have over 53 dialects. Go to Taraba, go to Plateau, or Ejukun will say, I've never done, Kanuru will say, I've never been president. Or this will say, Nupe will say. So this rotation nonsense, forget it. It's not constitutional. You want to put it in the Constitution, be our guest. What we are looking for is the best president that will govern this country. The North gave the South an opportunity to field a candidate. Did they not? This is the best they could bring. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that's killing our people. So I don't want to hear that this rotation, this North-South thing. Nigeria is a constitutional democracy. Everything must be in the Constitution. And I'll tell you, after this, maybe after we finish this interview, people will be shouting the obedience and whatever, will be shouting, insulting and all that. I will not do it. Insult, threat, shout, threat of secession and abuse in social media will not do it. This our politics must be civil. The only way to win the hearts of people is to reach out to them. For people to be comfortable with you. You're insulting people, you're abusing people, you are threatening this, you are threatening fire and brimstone. If your people are not, you will never see that in the North. You will never see that in the North. And that is the politics. People must be civil, people must be responsible, people must go out and converse the hearts and minds of the people. And you don't tell me my people in Katsina must vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu because he's from the north, or must vote for Peter Obi because he's from the south. Come on, people, we're operating a democracy, not craziness, not this rascality you see.
Right. You talk about the best case scenario, free, fair, and credible election. What about the worst case scenario? How does it play out?
And this is why we are talking. I mean, if all is well, why should I leave whatever I'm doing and come here and be talking? We've been warning. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, all these things you're doing, what you're doing is brewing trouble. We do not see a free and fair election. Initially, we said it because you put an umpire, but it's not going to be just and fair to everybody. I've said it here 1,000,001 times. Number one. Number two, you are causing all this trouble in all these opposition parties so that you are the only candidate presented in 2027. And I've said it loud and clearly. One party state in Nigeria has never happened, will never happen. We will fight it. If he wants to cause trouble in Nigeria, he can go that route. And I urge and I ask for all his security and intelligence services to advise him and tell him the truth. That no security services, no intelligence services can quell the anger of angry citizens. Votes must count. People's verdicts must be heard. And we cannot going to be forced to vote for anybody because he is this religion or this ethnicity or this region of the country. Come and sell your wares to us, whoever you are.
Is that a fair point to make, that the president is responsible for the instability or internal crisis that has rocked some of the opposition parties? You look at the Labour Party now, relatively stable, right? You look at the situation with the ADC. Some would say it's 50 to 60% self-inflicted because of their inability to consolidate when they took over the party, or even how they took over the party. You look at the positioning of Rabi Musa Kwankwaso and Peter Obi and how their departure to ADC has caused this uproar, where just a couple of weeks ago, you all were friends, buddy in the coalition. Their departure now has forced this crossfire between allies that seemingly were all on the same page. I mean, is the opposition just at this point using the president as a punching bag for everything that they have, self-inflicted?
No, you see, I'm not in the deep of what the coalition is.
But you do sympathize with them.
Of course, I do sympathize with people, the right of people to associate, to come and find a pathway better than what we are seeing. Look, they are denied a place for convention, bouncing from one place to the other. They are bringing all these legal issues. They are instigating trouble, and they are laughing. We saw that, and the world is seeing. Watch that too, and you watch that too. The chief of staff to the president in the United States, there's no joke. Talking on camera, you saw that, urging, telling that their agent to stay in the ADC and scatter them. The world is watching. Eyes of the world is it's on Nigeria. I don't know how reckless our people are. Cameras were rolling. And the chief of staff, who was the former speaker of this Nigeria, the world is watching. And you think people will see that and say the villa has no hand in this? I mean, the way they govern this country is so reckless, like they just need to get out of this villa. 2027, I'm calling on all Nigerians, close ranks. We are not going to allow 4 more years of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It will be suicidal. It will be suicidal.
And I mean, after the Ibadan summit, which we're seeing some of the pictures there, it looked like the momentum is strengthening, gaining a lot of traction. Before, it was seriously deflated with the departure of Peter Obi and Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. And some seem to believe that the stock of the ADC is in a steep decline. How do you see the ADC recovering from this, especially with some of the alliances that it's trying to build with other political parties, key among them being the faction of the PDP led by Tanimu Turaki and other opposition parties, much smaller ones that are trying to close ranks, as you say? How do you see this coalition surviving this big hemorrhage that was caused by Peter Obi and Rabi Musa Kwankwaso?
You are just pushing me today.
I like to believe that we're having a very serious conversation about what comes next.
You see, you are worried more than I am. I know a thing or two about hemorrhage. I'm a doctor. There is no hemorrhage in this world that you cannot stop with this. So, if you bleed, even if you have nosebleed, just pinch it.
This is more serious than a nosebleed, isn't it?
My friend. This is just, and I'm honestly, I'm even happy they left. To be honest, because you cannot have this kind of people that do not have the stomach to fight the good fight in your midst. I'm glad they left, but and now you are gingering me to get really into this coalition. To be honest, I can do a lot of work for them.
Right.
But their departure, the people are making big noise out of them. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, I will tell you, cannot deliver Kano for Peter Obi. If you want to bet, I'm not a betting man. If you want to bet your salary and my pension, let's see. He cannot deliver.
I don't have a stake in who wins.
No. What I'm saying is a bet. It's a betting thing. You know, your salary and allowances and
but you're 1,000%
pension.
sure that Rabi Musa Kwankwaso cannot deliver Kano in 2027.
Rabi Musa Kwankwaso cannot deliver Kano in 2027. I want him. I want Peter Obi to hear that. I want the people of Kano to hear that. And we will make sure about that.
ADC wins, in your view?
I'm not somewhere else. If you want to push me to ADC and fight for them, I'm honestly all ready. They are really irritating in the government and this other oppositions that have no stomach to fight the real fight. You want to fight? Come out and fight. If somebody that runs away, these are the kind of people you want to be your leaders. When there's heat, they run out of the kitchen. Come on.
Let's talk about the issues, because for the most part, we're hearing the issues take the backstage, and the politics of the day seems to be dominated by big names, personalities, and things like that. How do you reckon this plays out, especially when the campaigns kick off? I mean, some would say we're already in the campaign season already. Officially, we're not. But how do you see the issues being discussed in the build-up to 2027? And is there a chance that arguments could be made for and against what the manifestos represent? Just a couple of days ago, the publicity secretary of the ADC, Bolaji Abdullahi, came and made strong statements about how Peter Obi does not understand the manifesto of the ADC and has not embedded himself with what the ADC actually represents, bringing about the question of whether or not the issues have a chance to dominate the conversations about what the APC is bringing to the table, what the ADC is bringing to the table, and what the quote-unquote third force NDC is coming to the table. How do the issues make it to the front burner?
So for one, governance has stopped a year ago. And this suits President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Throw them, let them be talking politics. Nobody is looking at real issues that the reason I was brought to do. The economy. People are suffering. Security. You reported daily killings. In my backyard, in my house. You are flying out, you go to Katsina now, you can't drive to Gidamutun there, you go to Kano, you have to go through Daura. Under his leadership. Under his leadership. Now we're talking politics. What manifesto? Who cares about manifesto? The ordinary people that vote. It's you and I that look at manifesto and we know that it's not going to be any different. You can talk all the manifesto you want. We have seen. Did Bola Ahmed Tinubu come with any manifesto? Did he come and tell us that he doesn't care about corruption? I'm going to do, what have you, state capture? Did he come and say, oh, insecurity can continue? No, there's never been any government in this country, at least in the last whatever years, came with a manifesto, we're going to do this and did that. And now people are angry. How are you going to take care of our problems? How are you going to solve our insecurity? Don't talk to me about in Bangladesh, they have Air Bangladesh. In Nigeria, we don't have a carrier. How are you going to solve our insecurity? The hunger you brought in this country, the cost of living crisis in this country, everywhere we see the distrust. the balkanization of this country, especially the North, between Muslims and Christians, that this president and this government has found. Look at his visit to Jos. You saw his 10 minutes visit to Jos airport, which in my opinion was disgraceful, because he was just there to find the embers of ethno-religious hatred in the plateau.
I mean, how does that serve his purpose? Because he has been accused of weaponizing religion with the selection of Kashim Shettima.
No. It wasn't the Kashim Shettima. It wasn't the Kashim Shettima thing. It was politics to get him votes then. He's getting the votes. Muslim North can go to hell. Now he's quoting the Christian North. And that's why he flew. He planted the seed of that Christian genocide in the Benue. Now it's not flying. Now he went to the plateau. 10 minutes at the airport. 10 minutes at the airport. So only Christian leaders, as if it's only Christians that were lost, for 10 minutes. And said, oh yeah, we're going to give contract of 5,000 AI-enabled cameras. It's a president. When I was growing up, real leaders at that time would set up a commission of inquiry to see the remote and immediate causes of this thing, to see how communities can be healed. But essentially what he did at the airport was, instead of being the chief healer, but the chief divider. The people that were there were all Christian leaders. And he was there talking as if it was Christians that were killed, just finding the embers of ethno-religious hatred in the plateau. And I've said it, the people of the plateau, you need to keep your eyes open. Only the people of plateau will bring peace to the plateau. Only the people of Katsina will bring peace to Katsina. People of Zamfara will bring peace to Zamfara. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is tearing this country, tearing the North, just to scoop the votes of Christian Northerners. And he will dump you just like he dumped Northern Muslims. People of the plateau, you have elders, a beautiful place. I've been there. I love this place. This is not where it is. For the last, anybody born there for 35, 36 years, where has it gotten them?
Last week, when the leaders, a delegation from the plateau, led by Governor Caleb Muftuang, visited the president, he said, quote, or at least he inferred, that his political opponents, people like you in the media, are weaponizing incidents and tragedies like what's playing out in the plateau, on the plateau, to make him look bad. And he said, quote, he's a stubborn politician. He's not going to fall for it. Is that a fair way to characterize what's playing out? That albeit one that has preceded his administration, a lot of the rhetoric is being weaponized to make it look like he is the cause of the problem.
That just shows the president doesn't really know what he's doing. Being glib and saying it's somebody else that is causing this problem instead of his failure. Is that not what he took? I don't know what he used. Was it the Quran or the Bible? He swore with his holy book that he's going to protect our people. And now he's saying, oh, it's somebody that's doing that. Oh, go get that somebody. You have all the intelligence services. You have the security services. Go get that person you think is doing that. Mr. President, we are not in any mood for this. We really are not in any mood. I spoke a lot more against President Muhammad Buhari, who is from Katsina, in this medium, and many others, against insecurity, than I have done in his. Mr. President, I've said it again and again, you are the one commander-in-chief in this country that is not paying adequate attention to security as you should be. Instead of taxing Nigerians, we here are being killed every day. And you're finding the embers of ethno-religious hatred, particularly in the North. In the North. You are supposed to be the healer, bringing everybody close together. When you needed that cleric in Jos to sell you a Muslim ticket, he is the one, the gospel of Muslim ticket, selling that all over the place. When you went to the airport, you didn't even have the courtesy to call him. You don't have the courtesy.
You're saying the president is playing politics with insecurity.
It's politics, absolute politics. And he knows that. You can take me to the villa, I will tell him that. And he knows that. It's all politics. Was there a Christian genocide in the North? Are only Christians killed in the plateau? What did his 10 minutes visit, a shameful visit at the airport in Plateau achieve? Finding the embers of ethno-religions instead of bringing elders and seeing how communities can live together. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will leave, the plateau will continue to bleed, Sokoto will continue to bleed, Zamfara, Kaduna, and all that. He will leave this country a mess.
But you've also said that only the people on the plateau can solve the problem of the plateau, in the same way Katsina, Zamfara, and others.
Absolutely.
So you seem to have been absolving the president that he's not necessarily responsible. Directly, at least. Right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Prof. That's my understanding of your statement.
Abdullah, I don't know. Do you have an appointment with the Bola Ahmed Tinubu group?
I'm just seeking clarity. I'm just seeking clarity.
No,
I mean,
I've said it. No,
yeah.
Abdullah, I've always said, I'm a doctor, 43 years and counting today, 44 years and counting. Shagumi is a doctor and a cleric and a former military officer. We went into the forest and risked our lives during the time of President Muhammadu Buhari when he didn't want us to do. Why? Because nobody is going to solve our problem but us. All these plans are coming from Abuja, from people that know nothing about our people, have not worked and will not work. We have seen it. And that's why I say everybody must get involved, and the military know that security is not theirs alone. Hunger is a security issue. This trying to thwart our democracy is a security issue that, Mr. President, you need to pay attention to. All this religious balkanization is a security issue. Everybody must play his role. The world will be better tomorrow because you did your part today. And we're doing our part. Mr. President, you're not doing your part as the commander-in-chief. You're not.
And let's just double down on the security situation, because we've seen somewhat of a lull for a couple of days, barring the incidents in Katsina. Do you believe that there is an uptick in terms of military operation? Because we've also seen some successes in the northeast and also in the north central. But there's also this concern that with the politics of 2027, you tend to see a heightened sense of insecurity, one that could also share some nexus with the politics of the day. Last night we were talking with Dr. Kurfi regarding the Jikamshi attack, and he says, listen, there is a direct correlation between the uptick in political activities and the attacks, because they seem to have some sort of direct correlation. More insecurity could give power to especially incumbency politicians. Talk to me about whether this could be a factor going into 2027.
No, and I had the Senate President. The Senate President, who is number 3, talking cluelessly, glibly, that, oh, all this insecurity thing will come down after 2 weeks. Unbelievable. And that's what they are going to, that's what they are all telling the president. That it is politicians that are pushing, that are finding all this insecurity. Then we're in serious trouble if this is what the president is hearing. He will sit and say, okay, let them kill themselves. We'll see after the election. This is what's happening. So you mean they killed how many? 5, 6 battalion commanders? Somebody sent them to kill them? They killed 2 generals there? And you don't have fuel, you don't have diesel, you don't have MRAPs, you don't have equipment, you're blaming the politicians. Your paper, the Daily Trust, published, front page, the Nigerian army was given 7% of 2025 budget, money budgeted for its equipment. How can we deceive ourselves and think there's going to be any improvement in security when you have this measly release to our security services? We are deceiving ourselves. We are deceiving ourselves. And you are saying, oh, is somebody, Mr. President, we're blaming you because you are not arming our military. You are not giving them what they require. You are making the people hungry. You are making the country, balkanizing the country. The corruption is on steroids. There's state capture in this country. 2023, 2024, 2025 budgets. The capital components of all the budgets have not been implemented. Where is the money? Where is the savings from fuel subsidy? Why is the savings? Why is the money from NNPC, from customs, from FIRS? Nobody is seeing that. You are getting loans all over daily. What is this money used for? Nobody is asking the right questions. The National Assembly, they're there dancing on your mandate we stand. And he's very happy now. People are all talking about politics. Governance is taking the backstage. Mr. President, your government, your administration has been an abysmal failure. And fellow Nigerians, 2027, re-electing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and APC again will be suicidal. I've said this again and again in all fora in this country that I am privileged to appear.
Right.
So all this politics, it is nauseating me. My people are bleeding every day. People are talking politics. People are dancing. People are dancing.
And if that does come true, that quote-unquote inevitability, that because of the fragmentation of the opposition, President Tinubu does win handsomely in 2027. I know you don't pray for that and you don't see that happening. What next?
Number one, he's not going to win handsomely. If he wins handsomely, it is rigged. And there's going to be trouble in this country. Say no more. Number one, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I do not see any pathway for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu winning, regardless of handsomely. Number two, it's not going to happen. Number three, if it does happen, it will be the result of rigging election. If that happens, and I've said it again and again, I'm putting our international partners on notice. We should keep an eye on this country, CPC, country of particular concern. There's an election coming in 2027. All we are seeing is machination to rig this election. An INEC chairman that everybody disagrees with. You're causing trouble in all the opposition parties. You want to be the only party presented and the only person presented in 2027. That is a harbinger for serious trouble in this country. We are not going to allow that. We are going to fight that. And we're telling the world to keep an eye on Nigeria. End of story. I don't see him winning. Talk less of handsomely. How is he going to win? How is he going to win? I don't know. Maybe you have secrets somewhere that I don't. He cannot win. I don't see the pathway.
I'm sure you're well aware that there are a lot of analysis out there about who the winners could be. On one hand, you have the ADC and their strategists telling them how they're going to win. The Obidi Konkoso movement also have their own analysis and projections about how they're going to win. And the ABC also has their own projections about how they are going to win. Everybody believes that there can only be one winner and their own side comes out on top. But in the final analysis about what is at stake come 2027, you talk about the democracy that Nigeria has to protect. The president has time and time again talked about his lack of interest in one-party systems or one-party state. And the opposition has also talked a big game about what they're bringing to the table and how they're going to upstage the APC in 2027. What are your expectations regarding the engagements between political parties and Nigerians, the messaging itself? Because for some, the messaging is not there regarding how ADC or any other political platform like the NDC is any different from the APC itself. What do you want to see in terms of the messaging, and what should be the message that would galvanize Nigerians to head to the polls? Because there's also a concern the voter apathy could be at an all-time high come 2027. We've already seen the worst in 2023 with the president winning by the minutest of margins that we've ever seen anybody win the presidency.
Abdullahi, with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 3-year record, he will be the easiest president to dislodge out of the villa. Don't make the message too big and bogus. Is your life better today than it was when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came? Maybe yours is, mine isn't. How much was the price? How much was gas? Was petrol when he came? How much was the bag of rice? How much was school fees? How widespread was insecurity? How rampant was corruption? What is the level of tribalism and nepotism in this government? What of state capture? So all these political parties, don't bother yourself, all this manifesto, only city folks read them. Unleash us to the people. We'll tell them in language they understand. Would you want to go back to this hunger again? In a country where we are blessed with the rain, we're not officially at war, farmers cannot go to the farm, people are hungry. People are hungry. I saw a clip, very moving clip, I don't know if you saw it, of a young consultant, pediatrician, saying the doctor in him died a long time ago. That he is watching babies dying because mothers cannot afford to pay $5,000 for oxygen. The story all across this country. Forget all these lies about Lagos being this. Go to all their hospitals. All across this country, doctors are leaving. I have a patient in Maiduguri now. In the whole of Borno and Yobe, part of northern Adamawa, I don't know, maybe Taraba, they have only one neurologist. Only one neurologist. You have a stroke, only that neurologist at Unimed. He hasn't taken his vacation for God knows how long. This is in a country where we have all this money, where they are buying all these SUVs, we're not investing in our healthcare. And are you surprised that the mother watches her child, her baby, taking the last gasp, last breath, because she cannot afford to pay for oxygen? Are you surprised? Of the 280 billion budgeted for the capital project for Ministry of Health last year, only 36 million was released. 36 million. Whereas the office of the president, the office of the vice president spent over 30 billion in 2 years for travels. 36 million naira for all our hospitals, federal hospitals in this country. And this thing that this young doctor is talking about is in the federal hospital. Young doctors are leaving. We are all living. And I've told people all over this country that we're all living in a medically risky environment. If God forbid, anyone would get massive stroke, or head injury, or a heart attack, or massive injury, road traffic accident, there is not a hospital that can take care of this properly. We have the best doctors in the world. They're all in our teaching hospitals. They're all in our teaching hospitals. But our government does not prioritize. Health is not an issue. Education is not an issue. We went to all these village primary schools. We went to ABU's area. We went into the world and competed in the best centers in the world.